What's good, y'all boys, man? I'm back with another reaction. Hey, man, today we got how a garbage man became an NBA legend. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We ain't did a Larry Bird video in about like 2 months. So all my Larry fans, bro, my bad. But hey, I will tell y'all this. Larry Bird still top 2, not 2. He top 2, not 1. Michael Jordan still number 1. But Larry, hey, he made a good run for his money, you feel me? But we finna get straight into this video. Hit that like and sub button. 10K on the way, you feel me? Let's do it.
Was inches away from never achieving anything in basketball because back in the 70s, Bird was working as a garbage man in French Lick, Indiana, and he never wanted to become an NBA player. I thought I'd wind up being a construction worker, pouring concrete. As far as basketball goes, I just wanted to be the best player on my high school team. However, thanks to some luck and a coach who refused to give up on him along the way, the world was able to experience the basketball genius of Larry Bird. Bird would go on to become the best shooter of his era, an underrated defender, and one of the greatest rebounders ever at his position, all while being one of the best trash talkers in NBA history.
He just shook his head at me. He said, man, it's going to be up night for you.
Pat Riley once said that if he had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, he'd choose Michael Jordan. But if he had to choose a player to take a shot to save his life, he'd take Larry Bird. This is a story of how a garbage man became an...
Hey, y'all not hearing him though. Let me go back so y'all, hey, because I want y'all to answer this question in the comments. Y'all let me know. I'm going to play it back for y'all so you know exactly what he said.
It's going to be up night for you.
Pat Riley once said that if he had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, he'd choose Michael Jordan. But if he had to choose a player to take a shot to save his life, he'd take Larry Bird.
Are you choosing Michael Jordan or Larry Bird to take the shot to save your life? Y'all let me know in the comments. If y'all got anybody else you think that you want taking that shot, y'all want Kobe, y'all let me know. Y'all want Brian, y'all let me know. Hey, y'all pick and tell me who you want taking that shot to save your life. That's low-key a crazy question. I'm taking Steph Curry, though. I ain't gonna cap.
Story of how a garbage man became an NBA legend. Larry Bird was born in 1956 in West Baden, Indiana, a small town next to French Lick. That was a farming town of about 2,000 people. Larry was the 4th of 6 children, born into a poor family where his father Joe was a construction worker and his mother Georgia worked in a diner. Because his father's construction job wasn't stable, and because Joe was also an alcoholic, the Birds struggled to make ends meet. They lived in a small house, and during cold winters, their old furnace would often break down, leaving the family freezing. Due to financial difficulties, Larry would often be sent to live with his grandmother in French Lick, and being poor weighed on Larry a lot. And he always said that poverty...
Bro, this is the worst,
with his grandmother in French Lick, and being poor...
I ain't gonna lie, as a hooper, this is the worst feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no rims in sight. Put that old-ass backboard on the barn. We all had them times, bro. Not even on the barn, but like on the garage. Bro, like 90% of Americans, they got one of these on their fucking garage, bro. No rim. How am I supposed to get better? You want me to shoot at the backboard? How does that even happen?
Weighed on Larry a lot, and he always said that poverty was his biggest motivator in life.
As growing up, you don't realize that you don't have anything because you never had it in the first place. You know, making some money and looking back, I remember all of it, and I don't want to be like that again.
But his saving grace was playing sports. Sports was a big part of our lives every day. There was never a day we didn't do something, whether it was baseball, basketball, or football.
Facts.
His older brothers were pretty good basketball players, and they were the reason that Larry picked up the sport, and for his competitiveness on the court.
I ain't gonna lie, he do not look like an NBA legend. Boy, this little kid right here, he like a gremlin. He literally don't even got no eyes in this photo, bro. He look like he ate his own eyeballs. I ain't gonna lie, he like a badass little kid, but he turned out to be a crazy ass hooper, bro. A cold ass hooper, bro. It's crazy because, like, bro, when you really think about it, bro, he looked like the type to be a garbage man. You feel me? Like I ain't trying to stereotype nobody, but he do look like a garbage man. Like, if you never knew anything about if you never knew Larry Bird, I'm saying, you would think he just like the average Joe. Like, he don't even look like nobody. That's what's even crazier, because he be talking his shit and getting buckets, bro. That's why I fuck with him.
Younger brothers often make the best ball players. Children who grow up chasing older siblings play up, and it's an advantage when they start playing against kids their own age. Larry was about 13 years old, 6 feet and 130 pounds when his father...
He was 13 and 6 foot.
Kids their own age. Larry was about 13 years old, 6 feet and 130 pounds.
At 13? Nah. See, he done grew his eyeballs back. Maybe it was just that picture I seen, bro, because he ain't have no eyeballs.
When his
6
father promised him
feet?
$20 if he made the freshman team in high school. Back then, $20 to Larry was probably what $1 million is to him now, maybe even more. So he kept practicing really hard. And to his amazement, Larry realized he loved playing ball more than anything else in the world. I played when I was cold and my body was aching and I was so tired. I don't know why, I just kept playing and playing. I guess I always wanted to make the most out of it.
Hey, that's what you call love for the game, you feel me? This is why I respect Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying? He always put that work in. He wasn't even, that's why I really respect the older generations, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I feel like kids, they just go to their trainer, you feel me? Try to put up a couple shots with their trainer. Nah, bro, go outside, go to the court, you know what I'm saying? Go play in the cold, go play in the rain, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't really got that grind, you don't got that grit, bro. All my OGs, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I ain't even an OG, but I had that grit, you feel me?
And Larry did make the freshman team, albeit only as a bench warmer, since he only played in garbage time minutes. As a sophomore, he missed most of the year with an ankle injury, but that's when he got maybe the biggest life lesson from his father. I was 13 or 14 maybe, and my father came home with an ankle all black and blue and red. He needed me and my brother just to get his boot off, and he was in awful pain. But the next morning, we got the boot back on and he went to work. It really made an impression on me.
We don't know if he broke it or he just hurt it, but couldn't get his boot on. We had to help him get his boot on and go to work. So to me, it would have been very easy to just say heck with it, but he knew he had to go.
Some 20 years
real.
later, many fans marveled at Larry's ability.
Somebody got to make the money, you feel me? Just because a little small injury. Hey, bro, you can't let it stop you, bro. Can't let it stop the grind, bro.
To play through all types of injuries, and it all stemmed from seeing his father going to work, despite being barely able to walk. And while he was nursing his own ankle injury, still on crutches, Larry was shooting in the driveway every day, hitting 200 shots before school. Once his foot healed toward the end of his sophomore year, the coach unexpectedly put him in the game, and that's when all his practice paid off.
Well, my confidence came from me shooting basketball by myself for hours upon hours. I mean, it's not, I didn't pick up a ball on a Saturday.
So that behind the neck shot, you taught yourself that? I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of tough. Why do I feel like, bro, do y'all know Jokic? I feel like Jokic took Larry Bird jump shot. I ain't even gonna cap. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hey, hit that like and sub button, bro.
And decided I was going to score 40 a game. I mean, that preparation came way before that.
With a minute left in the game, Larry made the game-winning free throws. And for the first time ever, his name made the local paper. It was after that game that Bird started listening and applying everything his coach explained about basketball fundamentals. And Larry began practicing these skills to the point of obsession. When he returned for his junior season, Bird grew to 6'3", with refined dribbling skills and a knack for passing. Larry knew that senior teammate Steve Land would handle the scoring, and that he'd help his team the most by being a passer, falling in love with the feeling he received any time he made a pass that led to a bucket. But his coach realized that Bird was only trying to dish the ball, and threatened to glue him to the bench if he didn't start shooting. And Larry listened to him, becoming the second leading scorer on the team, averaging 16 points and
Before they get into the points, do you think Larry is one of the best passing forwards ever to play in the game? Y'all let me know. I ain't gonna lie, I have a Larry Bird a better passer than Magic Johnson. Y'all let me know. Let me know in the comments. 16-9 though, that's tough.
Assists per game. At that point, Bird was a good high school player, but not a great one, as his junior season was the first year he played consistent minutes of organized basketball. So nobody could even imagine what would happen in Larry's senior year, when Bird transformed from a solid player to an absolute monster. A big part of that was his physical growth, because over the summer, Larry sprouted 4 inches, and at 6'7", he was now the tallest guy on the team, but also the best shooter, passer, and ball handler. Bird had also started weightlifting.
Hold on, bro. How did he grow 4 inches all of a sudden out of nowhere, bro? Where was that for me? I'm 6'3" right now. Where my extra 4 inches, bro? If I grew 4 more inches, I'd be in the league right now. Like currently, like I'm still playing pro. I'm in Lithuania right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm making about $5K a month in Lithuania. But bro, I would be in the league, bro, if I was 6'7". Oh my gosh. I got a 44-inch vert, bro. Come on. Man.
He came into his senior season at 185 pounds, 40 pounds up from his junior season.
Damn.
And in his first game of the season, Larry dominated with 27 points, 21 rebounds,
That
and
game
7
was
assists.
deep.
In the third game of the season, he broke the school's single
This can't be high school, right? This game is deep.
game scoring record, knocking down 43 points in a loss. But after the game, Larry had an epiphany, realizing he could score anytime he wanted to. Later that year, Larry dropped 55 points with 24 rebounds and 5 assists against Corydon. And in his last home game of the regular season,
we ain't gonna talk about that. I dropped 50 in high school. I ain't gonna talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? 51, 10 boards, 2 assists. Shot great from the field too. Let me know if y'all want to see them highlights. So I got them.
collected 54 points, 38 rebounds, and 8
Damn!
assists. And this was all without a three-point shot. For the season, Larry averaged 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, after which he accepted a scholarship to play for the famous Indiana Hoosiers and the great Bobby Knight. However, after just 4 weeks at Indiana University, Bird was miserable. He didn't have any money, he missed his family, and felt alienated and overwhelmed by big crowds.
Financially, I couldn't stay.
Okay.
Reg, I just couldn't do it.
So, Larry returned home to French Lick, where he
My bad. I know I keep pausing it a lot, bro, but I got a lot to say. Look, this is a great conversation to have because I low-key seen this on Instagram the other day. Some old school players was talking about it was people interviewing NFL players saying how much money do they think they'll make in college, like if they had NIL. How much money do you think the Larry, the Jordans, how much NIL do you think they would have got, bro? Because I ain't gonna lie, if y'all know what NIL is, it's the colleges can pay the players off, based off their name, likeliness, and image, you feel me? So how much money, he would probably have still went to Indiana if they was paying him, bro. No cap, that's crazy, dog.
enrolled at a local community
How much was he
college,
gonna make?
But he soon gave up on that too. And then he became a garbage man in French Lick and
Wait,
was
hold on,
happy.
what they say? My bad.
So Larry whelmed by big crowds.
Financially, I couldn't stay.
Okay.
Reg, I just couldn't do it.
So Larry returned home to French Lick, where he enrolled at a local community college. But he soon gave up on that too. And then he became a garbage man in French Lick and was happier than ever. I loved that job. It was outdoors, you were around your friends, picking up brush, cleaning up. I felt like I was really accomplishing something. How many times are you riding around your town and you say to yourself, why don't they fix that? Why don't they clean the streets up? And here, I had the chance to do that. I had the chance to make my community look better. And even though he lived a peaceful life, tossing garbage bags and fixing benches in the park, Larry's family life soon turned into a disaster. In 1975, when Bird was only 18 years old, his father committed suicide, and Larry was devastated.
Dang.
He chose the way he wanted to die, and he did it. And it's just unfortunately that some people have problems like that. But I wish he was here, but he's not. So I had to go on with my life and try to make the most of my life, just like the rest of my family has. And that's the way we dealt with it.
Joe Bird was divorced from Larry's mother at that point, with his PTSD and alcoholism as the main reason for their separation. Alimony payments and debts to creditors were mounting, and it was getting harder for Joe to find work. So he came to the conclusion that his family would be better served through life insurance money. Joe then called his ex-wife and told her she didn't need to worry about the debts anymore, and then he hung up and took his life. Growing up, Larry was best friends with his father. The two spent a lot of time together, and his death affected Larry deeply. Although he felt betrayed by his father's act, Larry once again respected his father's sacrifice for his loved ones, and that's the same attitude he always brought to the basketball court. During that period when he worked as a garbage man, Larry got married to a girl he'd known for years. But that marriage turned out to be a catastrophe. And just when they got divorced, he found out that his now ex-wife was pregnant, and
This better be by him. Don't tell me, Larry, you got cheated on and she had a kid with another dude, bro. Please. No.
she prohibited Larry from having anything to do with the baby. So,
Oh,
between
that's even worse.
1975 and 1976, a still teenage Larry Bird quit 2 colleges, lost his dad, and suffered through a messy divorce. Who knows how his life would have turned
Wait,
out?
hold on. I thought Larry. Wait, hold on. So Larry Bird has a kid? I gotta look this up, bro. Let me look this up real quick, bro. Larry Bird. Kid? Question mark. Corey Bird. Connor Bird, Mariah Bird. Oh, I guess he has 3 kids. That's crazy. Anyways.
If he hadn't been recruited by Bill Hodges, then the assistant coach at Indiana State University. The young coach knew how good Bird was, and the two of them formed a relationship through Hodges' attempt to get Larry to play ball again. However, Larry was reluctant due to his failure at Indiana University, his job as a garbage man, and his complicated family situation. But Hodges was relentless, and one day he went to see Bird at his mother's house. Larry kept talking about a buddy of his who could really play ball, but nobody knew about him because he never went to college. To which Hodges replied, "Yeah, Larry, they're going to say that about you someday." After that mic drop, Hodges got up and left without even saying goodbye. And 2 days later, he got a call from Larry, who decided to join Indiana State, which would change his life forever.
If Bill Hodges hadn't been as persistent as he had been, Larry Bird might never have existed in any of our minds. I believe that with all my heart.
In his first
See what I mean? Like, it's crazy how life can shift. Like, Larry could have just been a garbage man, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying in the beginning of the video. He looked like an average garbage man, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even think of him as like an NBA legend. And that one dude, the coach from Indiana State, changed everything. Now he's a... See what I mean? Life is crazy, bro. Don't ever give up, you know what I'm saying? Your dream might be coming soon. Trust God's plan, bro.
season for the Sycamores, Larry, who is now 6'9", immediately proved that
he just
was a
keep getting
basketball
taller.
genius, averaging 33 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block in 28 games.
Once I started playing, it's the same old thing. You know, he's at a small school and he ain't playing against anybody, which is fine. Still dominated.
During his second season at Indiana State, Bird averaged 30, 11, and 4. And was voted a consensus first-team All-American. Larry intended to return to Indiana State for his senior season, and the NBA rules at the time stated that players must spend 4 years in college to be eligible for the NBA draft. So in 1978, nobody in the NBA was thinking about Larry Bird, except for Red Auerbach, the general manager of the Boston Celtics. Auerbach didn't think that he could find a superstar in the 1978 draft.
Wait. Do you think if they still had that rule, the 4-year rule, would that low-key like mess up scholarships for players coming out of high school? It'd be even harder to go to Division I, right? Because they would keep so many scholarship spots. Like, they would literally have no roster spots. Like, how would that even work? Y'all let me know, bro.
And he believed that Bird was going to be the first pick in '79, and that the Celtics wouldn't be able to get him then. However, because Bird enrolled at Indiana in 1974, but dropped out only a few weeks into his first semester, by technicality, he was eligible to get drafted. Still, drafting him was very risky, because Larry could re-enter the draft after his senior season, but Auerbach was willing to gamble. And with the 6th pick in the 1978 draft, the Celtics picked Bird, which was a shock to the rest of the NBA.
I just think that Red took...
So they drafted him while he was still in school? How does that even work?
gamble because he had the 6th and the 8th pick that year. He wanted me. And why didn't he wait to the 8th pick? You know, why did he take me the 6th pick?
But what happened in the 1979 NCAA season was maybe even more shocking. Bird led the Sycamores to an undefeated season and made it all the way to the national championship against Michigan State and their star point guard, Magic Johnson. Indiana State won 33 games in a row leading to the finals, and Bird was especially inspired in the Final Four against the second-seeded DePaul, finishing the game with 35 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists, shooting 16 for 19 from the field. However, in the national championship game, he ran into a better team. Michigan State was much more athletic, and they kept trapping Bird, forcing him to take tough shots. Magic and Michigan State won the title, beating Indiana State 75-64, with Larry hitting just 7 of 21 shots for 19 points. Due to the hype created by Bird and Magic, the 1979 NCAA Finals game achieved the highest ever television rating for a college basketball game, and with 35 million viewers, that record still stands today. However, after
35 million views? Damn. I don't even know. Let me look up something, bro. How many people watch the Super Bowl? People watch the Super Bowl. So that's like a third of the Super Bowl's viewings. That's low-key crazy for a college game. That's insane.
The college season ended, Bird still
And that
had
was
a
back
big
then,
decision
too.
to make, whether to stay with the Celtics or re-enter the draft.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Am I tripping?
Still had a big decision to make, whether to stay with the
Am I tripping? Bro, what the fuck is wrong with this dude's face? What the fuck? Hey, bro. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Hey, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And who the fuck is this little ass kid? Nah, this gotta be like, am I tripping? Like if my bad, like if it's something wrong, but that gotta look like this. Nah, bro, that gotta something messed up, bro. If not, my bad, bro. I don't mean no harm, but you know what I'm saying. Are these players? Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I think it's just something wrong with this picture, bro.
Celtics or re-enter the draft. He
My
first
bad.
visited Boston on April 6, 1979, where he, Red Auerbach, and Larry's agent discussed Bird's contract. They finally settled on a $650,000 a year deal, which made Bird the highest-paid rookie ever. But Bird felt no pressure. If I fail, I fail. I failed classes before.
650 G's?
And when the season started, Larry did the furthest thing from failing. The Celtics went from a 29-53 record in 1979 to 61-21 in 1980, and the best record in the NBA.
And I think it took me probably 3
So he
days
carried
after
them as a rookie?
camp. I found out, hey, this league is nothing. I can play in this league and I will dominate in this league.
With averages of 21.3 points, 10.4
Nah, that's
rebounds,
tough.
4.5 assists, and 1.
Nah, that is tough. Nah, that is
0.7
crazy.
steals per game for the season, Larry was selected to the All-Star team, made the first team All-NBA, finished 4th in MVP voting, and won Rookie of the Year.
So
over
how do
Magic
they not
Johnson.
say he's
But
the
in
greatest rookie
Eastern
of all
Conference
time?
Finals,
Is he not the greatest rookie of all time? My bad. I'm gonna stop pausing it, bro. I ain't gonna pause it. I'm pausing it 2 more times the whole video. Trust me.
Julius Erving's 76ers proved to be too tough, and the Sixers spoiled a championship meeting between Bird and Magic. And then, in the 1981 season, it was Magic who failed to reach the finals against Bird. With the addition of Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, who came in a trade dubbed the Steal of the Century, the Celtics assembled arguably the greatest front court in NBA history.
The one thing that we did my second year, we picked up Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale. Now, we didn't know how they was going to fit in, but they fit in very nicely. And
Boston won 62 games in the regular season. Bird finished runner-up for the MVP behind Dr. J, and in the playoffs, the C's swept Chicago,
Hey,
then
shout out Dr.
avenged
J.
the loss to the Sixers in one of the most thrilling series ever, with 5 of 7 games decided on the final possession. And after they won Game 7 by 1 point, Boston faced the Houston Rockets in the NBA Finals. Bird didn't have a great shooting series, hitting just 42% of his shots
Lay.
and averaging 15 points per game. But he also averaged 15 rebounds,
That
7
lay is
assists,
actually
and 2
insane.
steals, winning his first NBA championship in just his second season in the league.
Boston Celtics have won the World Championship in 1981.
Cedric Maxwell was named the Finals MVP because he averaged more points than Larry, but there was no doubt who was the best player on the Celtics.
after we won the championship in '81, I feel like we had a good enough team where we could start a destiny and win a lot of championships.
In the next 2 years, Bird's numbers continued to rise, and he finished second in MVP voting in both seasons. In 1983, he was third in voting for Defensive Player of the Year, despite his reputation as a slow-footed, unathletic player. But even with the stellar play from Bird and the ascension of Kevin McHale, the Celtics regressed, losing to the Sixers in the '82 Conference Finals and getting swept by Milwaukee
Sheesh.
in '83. With a bitter taste of disappointment after that loss, Coach Fitch resigned and was replaced by Casey Jones, an 8-time champion as a player from the Bill Russell era. And with the new coach, the addition of a great shooter in Danny Ainge and stellar defense from a veteran point guard Dennis Johnson, the Celtics were on the rise. In 1984, Bird averaged career highs in scoring and assists, with 24.2 points and 6.6 dimes per game, along with 10 rebounds. Larry also led the league in free throw percentage.
Hey, do y'all think Luka Doncic and Larry Bird are like I think they low-key similar, bro. I feel like they low-key like, I ain't gonna say Luka's as good as Larry or Larry is as good as Luka. I feel like they both got their own type of game, but I feel like they're very similar. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I ain't trying to really do all that right now, you feel me? But just let me know what y'all think. Because they both about like 6'8", 6'9", 6'7", score points in bunches, make good passes, don't move that fast, can shoot, got great IQ. Y'all let me know.
He made the all-defense second team, and after finishing
Larry
second
just
in
got better
MVP
defense,
voting
for
for
sure.
3 consecutive years, Bird was finally named the league MVP. In the playoffs, Bird was playing the best basketball of his career, shooting over 50% in every playoff series, seamlessly dropping 30-point games and double-digit assists. After they got past Washington and New York, the Celtics dropped the Bucks in 5 games to avenge the loss from the previous season and make another NBA Finals against Bird's oldest foe, Magic Johnson.
Playing against Magic, yeah, that was something that I always dreamed about since he beat us in college.
In a hard-fought series, it took 7
crazy.
games to decide a winner. And in the final game of the season, both teams struggled with their shot, including Larry and Magic.
I can remember we didn't shoot the ball extremely well, but we played hard. We got to all the loose balls. We did the things that was necessary for us to win.
But the Celtics were more poised down the stretch, winning 111-102 to secure another championship
They
parade in
stormed the
Boston.
court. That's
and
crazy.
with 27 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per game, Bird was named the Finals MVP. In the following season, Bird was again named league MVP, and the Celtics faced the Lakers in the finals once more. But this time, it was Magic and the Lakers who came out on top, with Kareem winning the Finals MVP. For the '86 season, the Celtics traded Cedric Maxwell for Bill Walton.
So you gotta think, bro, these duos were low-key crazy. Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't give a fuck how old Kareem was, bro. That's Kareem times Magic. That is insane. And y'all talk about the duos that be today, bro. That's an insane duo, bro.
A former MVP center who was struggling to stay healthy. But the gamble paid off, and Walton shined in his role as a sixth man, as the Celtics played one of the best seasons in franchise history.
That's a dime.
They finished with 67 wins
I don't really
and
know.
15
Bro,
losses.
I never really knew that much about Bill Walton. If y'all want me to react to Bill Walton, y'all let me know in the comments. Drop a video link.
And including the playoffs, they lost just 1 game in the Boston Garden, going 50-1 at home for the season. Larry was at his absolute basketball peak, averaging 26, 10, and 7, with 2 steals and near 50, 40, 90 shooting. During a long regular season, Larry would often get bored and had to find extra challenges to motivate himself. And before a game against Portland in February, Bird surprised his teammates and journalists by saying that he would play the whole game with his left hand. And despite barely touching the ball with his right, Larry finished with 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists, including a game-tying shot in regulation.
47 with his left hand? My bad. This is my third pause, bro. That's just insane.
And a game winner in overtime.
If I remember the game correctly, they were forcing me left to help. And they wasn't getting there quick enough, so I had shots around 5-6 foot with my left hand. I felt more comfortable with my left hand there than I did my right. Then once I got started making a few, I just kept going.
It was one of the greatest games of his career, on par with his career-high 60 points from the 1985 season against Atlanta. Larry was hitting jumpers left and right from impossible angles, getting into such a zone that the Hawks bench even jumped out of their chairs and cheered for him, which got...
I ain't gonna lie. We done seen this clip 100 times. I'm gonna say it every single time. If I was a coach and I ever see my players do this, I'm going, contract getting burnt. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking your name tag off your locker. And you got to give me your car that you bought with the money that you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You give me your car and your car key. You don't even get to have a car no more, bro. You lucky I'm letting you keep your apartment that you buying right now. You know what I'm saying? I could kick you out of that, but I know you got kids, so I'm gonna let you keep the apartment. I don't give a fuck. You ain't no car for you though. You gonna have to ride that bus. The only way you can get this contract back is if you write "I hate Larry Bird" on the paper 6,050 times, bro. I don't give a fuck.
them fined by their coach.
The announcer let me know every time I scored. So he go 48, 50, 52, and when it got to that with like 3 or 4 minutes to go, I thought I might as well go ahead and try to get 60, and that's what I did.
Then in 1986, Bird received 73 out of 78 first-place votes for the MVP award, becoming just the 3rd player to win MVP 3 years in a row.
Only 2 other players won the regular season MVP award 3 consecutive times, as Bird did, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
And in the 1986 playoffs, the Celtics steamrolled through the East, sweeping Jordan and the Bulls, defeating Dominique and the Hawks in 5, and then swept the Bucks to reach their 3rd straight NBA Finals, this time against the Houston Rockets. And while the Houston's twin towers of Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon provided a bigger challenge for the Celtics, there was nobody who could stop Larry. With 24 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 9.5 assists, Larry was 2 rebounds and 3 assists shy from averaging a triple-double in the finals, winning another Finals MVP as the Celtics won the title in 6 games. In 1987, Bird became the first player to shoot 50-40-90 for the season, averaging 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. But while Larry was still on top,
he almost averaged a triple-double. That's crazy.
The Celtics regressed. Before the season, their number 2 overall pick, Len Bias, tragically passed away after the draft, and they suffered many injuries during the season and the playoffs.
I was the healthiest one on the roster. That's not saying much. I felt pretty good. I know Robert had ankle injuries, and Kevin broke his foot. Danny had a hip problem. And just to get to the finals, it made us feel good.
Still, they had Larry, who pushed the C's to their 4th consecutive finals after one of the most legendary moments.
I ain't gonna lie, he was more athletic than people make him out to be. I know he was 6'9", but he still had a little bit of athleticism, bro. Don't get it twisted now.
His career when he stole the ball from Isaiah Thomas in Game 5 of the Eastern Finals.
And it was like in slow motion. It was like the ball like goes up in the air. I didn't even see him.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
And in the finals, once again, it was Boston versus LA for the 3rd time in 4 years. But this time, the Lakers were healthier and better rested, and the Celtics didn't have enough gas in the tank to stop the fast-paced showtime. Bird delivered another 24, 10, and 5
It's crazy
for the
though,
series,
he
but
getting
it
to
wasn't
the
good
finals.
enough, as Magic got the best of him once again. The next year, Bird had the best statistical season of his career. He averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, again shooting 50-40-90 for the season, and proving that he was the best shooter who ever played at the time. Unfortunately for Larry and the Celtics, they lost in the conference finals against Detroit. And the 1988 season proved to be the last hurrah for the Celtics' big 3 of Bird, McHale, and Parrish in terms of contending for a title. Bird missed almost the entire 1989 season due to a persisting back injury and multiple surgeries to remove bone spurs from his ankles. He originally injured his back in the '85 offseason after deciding to build the driveway of his mother's home himself.
Larry decides to do it himself. This is Larry Bird, the superstar.
Why did he
out
do
there,
that?
Breaking his back, literally shoveling gravel.
He spent all day shoveling gravel and ended up hurting his back and causing his spine to get misaligned.
He had lost the structural stability in his spine. So it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get an artificial stability. That's like getting your finger stuck in a door and somebody's still pushing on the door.
Bird was a
that's crazy.
He could have easily paid someone else to do it, but Larry enjoyed manual labor and he wanted to help his mother with his own hands. And paying people for something he could do himself simply wasn't Larry's style. I really don't need anyone to build my ego. When I'm home in Boston, I want to go out and eat, pay my bill, and get the hell out. Back in French Lick, I don't have those problems, and that's why I go back there. It's the same with nice cars, Mercedes and all that. I can't see putting $50,000 or $60,000 into a car when our house growing up was worth $10,000. I just can't buy that. And clothes never did catch my eye. I never really enjoyed them. I always wore what I felt comfortable in. I'll wear pretty much anything if I get it for free. And because of his back injury, Larry probably should have retired in '88. But that memory of when he was 14 years old and his father went to work with a foot that was 50 shades of purple stuck with him, and Larry kept playing through the pain.
But to me, I was just so glad I got the NBA and made it. I didn't want some little injury messing up my whole season, so I tried to play through a lot of them.
From 1988 onward,
that's what you call a real man, a real hooper, bro. Respect, no cap.
Bird had to have his spine realigned before games just to be able to participate. The injury was so severe that he often had to lie down for hours at a time. either between games or sometimes even during games, spending up to 4 hours a day stretching. And even though he could barely walk, Larry still averaged 21, 9, and 7 in the last 3 seasons of his
That's
career.
how you know he
They
was an
called him
athlete. That's how
Larry
you
the
know he
Legend
was a hooper.
because of his dominance on the court, the extreme confidence he exuded, and the trash talking he served on a daily basis. Going into the locker room during the three-point shooting contest and asking other participants which one of you is going to come in second.
Everybody's looking at me, I go, who's coming in second? And nobody said a word. I thought maybe they thought I was joking, but maybe they thought I was serious. But, well, then I had to go out and win it. I meant it. I mean, I knew I was going to probably win the contest.
And then defeating them without ever taking off his jacket, legendary.
Nah, that's savage. That's badass.
Telling
What y'all be
players that
saying?
he was
That's badass.
gonna get the ball, how many dribbles he was gonna take, and then doing exactly that, sinking a jumper in their face, legendary.
Every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left.
Damn.
Off glass.
Damn.
Fuck it.
And did you know Bird played the entirety of his career with a dislocated finger? His right index finger got badly hurt during his last season at Indiana State. But like always, Larry just pulled the finger, put it back in place, and kept playing through the pain. Bird had to slightly change his shooting stroke because of that finger, and he swears he was a better shooter in college than in the NBA. And the numbers support this theory, as he shot 53% in college compared to 49.6% in the pros. And despite his reputation of being a trash-talking jerk, as well as getting into a few fights on and off the court, people who know Larry will tell you that he was an even better person than he was a player. When the Celtics
facts.
won the title in 1984, Bird approached
You could tell he got a good heart for sure.
Red Auerbach and said, "I'd like to buy a championship ring for Walter, an old equipment manager and sometime trainer who died in 1985. No other player ever thought of that," Auerbach said. And in a 1985 game against the Utah Jazz, when he was just one steal away from recording a quadruple-double, something that only Nate Thurmond had achieved up to that point, Larry instead chose to stay on the bench, saying that he already did enough damage.
Getting a quadruple-double meant nothing to me. I mean, really, you go into a game and when you're up by 25, 30 points.
A quadruple-double?
Just for a steal, makes no sense to me. I've done enough damage already.
And that's the perfect example of the duality of Larry Bird. On one hand, he was an uber-confident SOB that would destroy your soul on the court. But he was also a modest country boy who used to pick up garbage in French Lick and felt it was immoral to buy a Mercedes.
Well, like I said, when I grew up, I never went away from French Lick, so this is all I really knew. It's not that I think this is the greatest town in the world, but it's my hometown. This is where my family and friends are, so it's important to me.
Thanks for watching. And if you like this video...
Hey, man, that's going to do it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. God bless you. Jesus loves you. We out. Hey, let me know what else y'all want to watch, bro. Drop it in the comments right now. Drop a link. That's gonna do it, man. Like I said, God bless. Jesus loves you. We out. Hey, bro, let me know what y'all want to watch. Like I said, I'm just playing.